joining her dad
right,
with a
of course.
jacket on today.
Right next to Senator Simon, President Mazeski, Aloysius Mazeski of the Polish National Alliance, which organizes this parade. There's the
Also,
governor.
Stanley Cusper as well, to the governor's left. There's Samantha.
Hi, Samantha. Let's have a wave for the crowd there. It's kind of a brisk day. Actually, it's a little nippy right down here. We're at Daly Plaza, by the way, right along Dearborn Street. And there's been a bit of fog over Chicago this morning. This area is clear, but maybe a little later we'll show you the view back north up Dearborn Street. And there's some political figures. There's
Edward
Berdoliak
Berdoliak,
marching.
of course.
Looks like we have a very big turnout, despite, certainly among the marchers, despite some rather dreary weather today. But I don't think the fog and the cold has put any kind of a chill. There's Neil Hartigan.
Some of you at home perhaps were thinking, oh, maybe I'll work outside today. Well, the weather may not be conducive to that, but we certainly invite all of you to just sit back and relax and enjoy the parade.
The Polish National Anthem.
The U.S. Army Color Guard and 4th Army Band from Fort Sheridan playing the Polish National Anthem. There's much, much more to come. Things are just getting started here. We hope you stay with us as the Polish Constitution Day Parade continues.
During World War II, my father was in the South Pacific and married my mother, who was an Australian girl, and they stayed in Sydney. So consequently, I was raised in Australia the first 16 years of my life, had an Australian accent, and I used to say things like, I put another pierogi on the barbie. So you can see why I had to come to America and move to Chicago. Much more comfortable here. Fit right in.
You've heard about the new stain-safe carpet, I'm sure. Do you wonder if it works? Well, look at this. Double chocolate sundae, right? Now, you could leave it there for 24 hours and still get it good as new in minutes. To me, that is incredible. The only thing more incredible is that Empire can deliver and install your new stain-safe carpeting in just one day.
588-2300 Empire.
Call Empire today. Get your stain-safe carpet tomorrow.
Small load, huh?
Yours too.
Maybe we could wash them together.
Maybe.
It's on me.
Oh, the ring around the collar. We'll use my whisk. Tough stains like this need whisk. Whisk does a better job. And when whisk gets that ring around the collar...
Our whole wash is clean. Give you a ring?
Let's stick to collars.
Whisk gets ring around the collar and your whole wash clean.
I used to ride bent over. My bike couldn't handle stones. I couldn't find the gear shift. I got soreness in my bones. Every time I rode that way, I always got a bruise. You can blame it on the bike. It's the peddler's blues.
The Huffy Savannah takes you where you're going in comfort. With a cushioned seat, thick tires, upright handlebars, and 10 speeds. You just can't lose.
It's the ultimate in comfort. No more peddler's blues.
Huffy, America's first choice.
Look, I can't believe you're not going.
Yeah, so?
So it'll be fun.
Okay, who's gonna be there?
Walter Payton's the Grand Marshal.
And Kurt Cameron's the host.
So's Janet Davies and Jim Rose. And Miss America's gonna be there.
I think he wants to go.
Come on, it'll be the best.
Lots of floats and music. It's the biggest party of the year.
Say yes to the Say No to Drugs Parade, live Saturday, May 9th on Dearborn Street.
You talked me into it. I knew.
Welcome back. Mary Ann Childers here with Alan Kraszewski and Lucinda Magala along Dearborn Street, where thousands of people are watching the Polish Constitution Day Parade. Lucinda, isn't there a custom of a little cognac or something to
We
warm
were
you up on
talking
a day?
about it last year. This is one of those days when a little French cognac, which is a very Polish thing to do, would be perfect.
We won't be doing any of that here, of course.
Unfortunately not. At least the producers won't know.
No, maybe a little hot coffee.
Right.
I think the spirits are very high and there's a warm spirit among this big crowd today. And now our ceremonies are over at the reviewing stand and the parade is starting down Dearborn.
Mary Ann, our first float heading up the street right now, or down the street if you prefer, on Dearborn. This is the Legion of Young Polish Women. They are presenting their 1987 queen in her court and also the post-debutantes. The queen this year, 17-year-old Anna Kosacecki. She is a senior of the Sacred Heart of Mary High School. She's planning to attend the Western Illinois University, majoring in fashion design and merchandising. You see her there.
She's lovely.
She certainly is. She enjoys skiing, she says, and team tennis. And in school, she organized the Substance Abuse Organization. Included in that same group, the second runner-up, Stephanie Czeslaw, Maria Hodzinski, the president of the Legion of Young Polish Women. That organization is charitable in nature. They're giving assistance to worthy Polish causes, also supporting local and national American causes as well.
And right behind them, we have the float that's sponsored by the Polish Women's Civic Club. It was organized back in 1924. And the object of the organization, like many of the organizations we're going to be talking about today, is philanthropy, to provide scholarships for qualified students, contributions made to not-for-profit charitable organizations. Now, these ladies have a motto, and the motto is, give to the world the best you have, and the best comes back to you. The float commemorates the signing of the Constitution of the United States of America. And the president of the Polish Women's Civic Club is Alice Zurek.
That float is under the direction of Anita Franuszkiewicz.
Coming up behind them now, there you see some colorful headgear. The Knights of Columbus, the LaSalle Assembly, 4th degree Knights of Columbus, the largest 4th degree in 10 countries. It is a Catholic patriotic degree, the highest degree in the Knights of Columbus. On October 25th, 1986, the group celebrated their 75th anniversary. We say congratulations to them. They've rededicated themselves to their country, church, and the seminarians that they have supported financially for 25 years. St. Mary of the Lake Seminary in Mundelein has received over $150,000 in donations from the organization you see right here. The LaSalle Assembly, 4th degree Knights of Columbus, are under the direction of Bruno Podwowski, faithful navigator, and also Marian Kojul, past faithful navigator.
Now, they're going to be making a presentation, I believe, before the dignitaries, many of the political figures and the civic leaders we saw earlier who've joined the members of the Polish National Alliance in the reviewing stand. And so the Knights of Columbus move right up Dearborn Street. Or as you said, Alan, right down Dearborn Street.
Whatever you prefer.
Yeah, the parade is actually moving to the south. And a big hand for these marchers as they go by on this rather brisk day, and a big hand for what's coming next. The Illinois Division of the Polish-American Congress.
We see here former congressman, also an alderman from the city of Chicago, Roman Kuczynski. He is the president of the Polish-American Congress.
Illinois Division.
And of course, you know, they're very active, sponsoring major telethons, which, and this is pretty incredible, raised $1.5 million for aid to Poland. That was last year. Last summer, they launched the first ever Polish Lakefront Festival. The Polish-American Congress is the umbrella organization of all organizations in the country.
The national president of the Polish-American Congress is Aloysius Mazeski. He's also president of the Polish National Alliance, which organizes this parade every year. And And the
was in the
local
first line,
president,
right.
yes, the local president.
And I think in light of events in Poland that are coinciding with the May Day celebration, the call for solidarity and the reminder of that is very important to the people who are marching today down Dearborn Street.
Well, the whole spirit of the Constitution is that same spirit that we see in the solidarity movement in Poland. This is the float sponsored by Walter Kazabowski, the city clerk of Chicago, Grand Marshal of this parade.
And riding on the float, the lovely young ladies are debutantes of the Polish National Alliance, and of course, family and friends and well-wishers of Mr. Kazabowski.
And those strange-looking costumes, those are Polish knights from medieval times.
Hi there. A big wave at that little guy bundled up in his hood. And there go the debutantes. Lucinda, can you guesstimate how many people are marching and involved in this? I know it's got to be tens of thousands.
It's tens of thousands, of course, because almost every Polish organization gets involved, even though, in fact, it's organized by the Polish American Congress, Polish National Alliance, but everybody gets involved.
Oh, there's some nice march music. The Polish American Musicians Club is treating us to a little music here. They are under the direction of Joseph Polinsky. Many of the members in this band are also members of the Federation of Musicians Local 10208 and also the Chicago Symphony Orchestra.
This is a real crowd pleaser. I can see folks at the side clapping their hands and tapping their toes. In fact, we're doing that right up here as we bring the parade to you. Now, Polish Legions of the American Veterans and the Auxiliary. The state commander, Frank Fisek, and the state president, Evelyn Fisek.
Now, the group you see here, founded back in 1920, the Polish Army Veterans Association, District Number 1. It is being led today by Władysław Starożyński. The Ladies Auxiliary performs services for the sick and incapacitated veterans. They are being led by Helen Bielecki.
Beautiful. What wonderful Polish pronunciation.
We'll just roll them right off the tongue today.
Well, I believe there's a little Polish ancestry in Alan Krzyzewski's
Oh, there is,
family.
definitely.
A little bit in all of us today, I think.
Yeah. Well, I'll certainly claim that today.
Okay.
These are the Polish veterans of World War II, post number 15, founded back in March of 1953. They're led by Leopold Szebałowicz. Serving as president for 28 years of that organization, Kazimierz Iwanicki, one of the oldest Polish veteran groups in existence.
Still some members, I believe, of the Ladies Auxiliary.
This is the Polish Paratroopers Association.
Affiliated with the 82nd Airborne Division Association, America's Guard of Honor. The paratroopers were organized back in 1956, and the purpose at that time was to aid disabled veterans and their families, as well as to maintain strong ties with American and Polish veterans groups, and to protect the ideals of American democracy. The president is Joseph Pasternak. Also in line is the national president of the association. His name is Jerry Palusa. And the chairman of the 82nd Airborne Division is Joseph Scotellaro. The paratroopers have been marching in the parade since 1957, so they're veterans of the parade. Of course, many people are, though. I know for families, this is something that they look forward to and plan to do, and bring the family and the kids and grandma. They all come downtown for it.
This is the first Polish Armored Division Veterans Association, headed by their commander, Władysław Lis. And this is the Polish Home Army Veterans Association, Illinois Division, under the direction of their president, Witold Jastrzębski.
Now, you know, this is an interesting organization. It was organized in Poland back in about 1939, the fighting arm of the Polish secret state.
The underground during the war.
Which resisted Nazi Germany during World War II. At the time, it was over 400,000 soldiers. And the purpose, continuing support of the people of Poland in their struggle for freedom and for independence.
This is the Polish Carpathian Brigade, led by 2nd Lieutenant Edward Kielab.
Now, directly in front of the group are the American and Polish flags and also the organization's banner, similar to the banner used by the 3rd Carpathian Division during World War II. The brigade was organized 29 years ago. Its objectives are social and cultural welfare of the members and support for disabled veterans, close cooperation with Polish organizations for the cause of an independent Poland and also for the good of the Polish people. Its current president, Wacław Kaminski.
Secretary is Janusz Szyszyński. Treasurer Kazimierz Czerwiński. Head of the Women's Auxiliary is Lucy Czerkawski.
Little furry friend.
That's right. We could all use a little fur coat today, I think, here. The Chicago Command Chapter. It's an organized unit of a bigger body that's known as the Military Vehicle Collectors Club. And the prime purpose is to promote the recognition and the collection and the restoration of historic military vehicles. This is really, hi there, an international organization with chapters, well, in this country as well as Canada, Great Britain, Europe, and Australia. All the vehicles are privately owned, and they're restored by the owners. Now, that's a big job.
A very sad moment of Polish history recalled by these marchers. These are the Polish prisoners from the Nazi and Soviet camps during World War II, survivors of the camps.
They are actually dressed in the Guard while prisoners of concentration camps during World War II. You can see them right here.
Headed by their president, Zygmunt Borkowski. They're survivors of places like Auschwitz, Dachau, Mattenhausen, and others. Many, many Poles, 3 million Poles died at the hands of the Nazi Germans during World War II.
Today, too, a very important day for remembering things like that.
So it is not only a happy occasion, also sad.
And there will be some poignant moments for the marchers and for the people who have lined Dearborn Street as they watch this parade go by. And in some ways, I think perhaps this parade is unique in that sense, as opposed to many of the parades that happen in Chicago, which are pure celebrations, an element of...
Poland is more than 100 years old, more than 1,000 years old, and in much of that 1,000-year history it has been invaded and occupied, and we also remember all the sad times of Polish history on May 3rd, as well as the joyful.
The float you just saw, the Polish National Relief Fund proudly presenting their Queen of the Year to Lucy Robadowski. We'll be back with more of the 1987 Polish Constitution Day Parade in just a moment, so stay with
us. We are celebrating the 200th anniversary of the United States Constitution, as well as the 196th anniversary of the Polish Constitution. The Polish Constitution received its inspiration from our Constitution, and we're hoping that on the 200th anniversary of the Polish Constitution, Poland will be free and independent.
Our spring collections can color your outlook and brighten your world. At substantial savings, plus the convenience of a suitery charge at a suitery near you.
Really great cheese can't be mechanically punched out of a huge block like this. That's making cheese Longhorn style, and that's an artificial process. But County Line Longhorns are made the real way, ripened evenly from the inside out in small individual containers for a smooth, rounded shape. Only real cheese, perfectly aged, for a smooth, natural, old-fashioned taste in every cheese we make. County Line. Only real cheese.
You'll never get more than 10% real juice out of those drinks, no matter how much you pour. But Juicy Juice from Libby's is 100% real fruit juice. Wow!
Juicy Juice is a juicier juice.
It's 100%.
And welcome back to our coverage of the 96th Annual Polish Constitution Day Parade in Chicago. You probably have the best seat in the house in terms of seeing all the parade today here on Channel 7, and it's probably a little warmer for the folks watching at home today. Let's go down and see what's happening as the parade passes us by down here on Dearborn Street.
Well, things are continuing right along. They're fine group here.
This is the Polish school, Maximilian Kolbe Polish School.
Organized back in 1974, there are 321 students taught by 14 professional teachers in grades 1 through 8 and the first year of high school. And the school uses the facilities of St. Constance Parish.
Those children are wearing Polish Highlander costumes from the Polish mountains, some of my favorites.
These are costumes that they would wear for special occasions normally?
Yes, and in the mountains they wear them very frequently, often to Sunday Mass if it's an important Sunday. Maximilian Kolbe is the newest Polish saint, the Catholic priest who died, was murdered by the Nazi Germans in the concentration camps in Auschwitz, to be exact.
This is the Parkway Bank and Trust Company float. It is headed by the chairman of the board of directors, Dennis Voss. Riding on the float and marching alongside are the children from the St. Maximilian Polish Language School.
And we see all kinds of flags waving, the flag of Poland, and today, the Stars and Stripes waving on this float.
Principal of the school is Sanina Bartosz, and president of the Parents Association, John Kulak.
The educational effort in Polonia here in Chicago is really kind of amazing. Every year as we hear about these schools, I'm just...
There are about 24 of these Saturday schools. The children go to school 6 days a week, 5 days to normal school, 1 day a week, Saturdays to Polish school. And it's a wonderful way to get your Polish heritage education.
Our next float is from the Coalition of Polish American Women, founded back in 1983 for the purpose of organizing the Polish American woman for helping other women in their fields of endeavors. The president of the organization is Wanda Cass.
And marching behind them, the Polish Teachers Association of America, a nonprofit educational association of Polish teachers, who organized a number of Saturday Polish language schools. The one Lucina was just speaking of, 35 years ago. Now, this organization helps to run and coordinate about 16 of those schools across Chicago.
That's right.
About 3,500 young children attend them. And the association also publishes school textbooks and other school materials.
President of the Polish Teachers Association is Dr. Richard Lisakowski. This is the Emilia Plater Polish School, another one of those schools.
Founded back in 1974 for the purpose of teaching young Americans of Polish descent the Polish language, history, instilling in them just a general awareness and pride in their accomplishments of Polish people in America and also throughout the world. In the 13 years of its existence, it's grown from an initial enrollment of just 50 students to well over 200 now in grades that go from kindergarten the way up through high school. Classes for adults, too, who are just beginning to study the Polish language.
And I think all 200 students have come out today, many of them in costume. Everybody with a balloon or a flag today.
I think there are more costumes under those raincoats.
That's probably true. That was always the hard part, when you had your pretty dress on or your great costume and Mom says, hey, you got to put your raincoat on today. It was always covered up. Riding on the float here, let's see. Float's coming up right behind our band of marchers.
There it is.
That's Ed Rosewell and some of the children from the school.
I always tell these kids, go to Polish school, practice your Polish, and someday you'll narrate the Polish parade on Channel 7.
Well, there's a little perfect precision. This is the Carl Sandburg Junior High School Band and Color Guard from Rolling Meadows, Illinois. They are under the direction of George Southgate today. The band and Color Guard have participated in the Polish Constitution Day Parade for the last 12 years. They perform also in various parades in Chicago and the suburbs. Also participate in contests and festivals.
How nice of them to dress in red and white, which happen to be the Polish national colors.
The Carl Sandburg Jazz Ensemble was selected to represent the junior jazz bands from across the country at the Midwest National Band Clinic. They were also voted top junior high school ensemble at the Oak Lawn School Jazz Festival.
This is the Paderewski Polish School from Glenview, Illinois.
11 years ago, a group of Polish Americans founded the Northwest Suburban School of Polish Language and Culture.
They are named in honor of Ignacy Paderewski, the famous Polish pianist, composer, and, of course, premier of Poland.
The purpose of this nonprofit organization is to impart the Polish language, history, culture, and traditions to the whole community.
Now, there are many children from the school riding on this float, sponsored by former Cook County Assessor Tom Hines. Hi there. Don't forget to wave to us now.
Lucyna Wisowata is the school principal. Another Lucyna, and Zbigniew Brzoskowski is the president of the Parents and Teachers Association.
And now here's the band that we've heard from 2 blocks down, the U.S. Navy Recruit Band, the Service School Command Band of the United States Navy under the direction of Petty Officer Powers, comprised of all volunteer sailors. They're also students. This band is performed in Morton Grove and the Oktoberfest in Belvedere, Illinois. And today, for Polish Constitution Day, the 96th annual parade in the city of Chicago.
You see the Polish American Labor Council. They've actively served the Polish community for the past 75 years. The organization fosters cooperation between Chicago's Polonia and American organized labor. In the United States, freedom and democracy, of course, a part of our everyday life. And the Polish American Labor Council hopes that one day the Polish people can know these ideals as well. Julian Sock, the president of the Labor Council. We talk about freedom here in this country. Just look in your newspapers this morning, the May Day situation from yesterday, where Polish people, of course, protesting the lack of freedom in their country.
May 3rd, Polish Constitution Day, is not celebrated in contemporary Poland, unfortunately.
Now, isn't that ironic that around the world and here in Chicago, around this country, big parade, observance of the day, and not for the people in Poland? Marching with the Service Employees International Union, the Millard International Choir, under the direction of Stanley Soches. They're not singing today. I think all of their energy is into keeping warm, and it looks like they have a variety of costumes as well. When you were a little girl and you marched in the parade, Lucinda, did you have costumes like this?
Oh yes, I had my Kraków costume on. I was born in the city of Kraków in the south of Poland, where the Pope was cardinal before he became the Pope, and so I always marched in my Kraków costume.
So this brings back memories.
Oh, it certainly does.
Especially the little girls.
Of course, we marched on the north side in those days. It was down Augusta Boulevard and into Humboldt Park. Now we do it downtown.
It even moved to Clark Street, I believe.
Right, for a while. You're absolutely right. You know your history.
And just starting to come into view now, we see the Service Employees International Union float. This is Local 25 under the direction of Eugene Motes. He's the president.
And at this point, we're going to tell you we'll be back with more of the Polish Constitution Day Parade in just a moment. We hope you'll stay with us.
On Polish Constitution Day, we say thank you. We pay tribute to our Polish ancestors for the great things they had accomplished here in Chicago. We stand in admiration of their faith and their courage for what they have accomplished to make this a great city of Chicago.
Slifty Pizza, where delivery is king. Certified instructors put our employees through a grueling pizza delivery course. Now that's driving.
While some pizza places put all their effort into delivery, at Little Caesars, we concentrate on something else. The pizza.
You want to make sure the crust is golden brown on the top and on
At
the
Little
bottom.
Caesars, it's the pizza that counts. So while they're perfecting this, we've perfected this. Little Caesars.
The Polish National Alliance is the largest ethnic fraternal benefit society of Polish Americans in America. Founded in Philadelphia in 1880, the PNA was created to help Polish immigrants start a new life in America. Headquartered in Chicago at 6100 North Cicero Avenue, the PNA publishes the bi-weekly Zagoda and Polish daily newspapers. For more information about the Polish National Alliance, call 286-0500.
In a recent taste test, between Tostitos brand and ordinary tortilla chips, one of the challengers fell flat. And when yet another tried to beat Tostitos' fresh taste, they fell to pieces. Others may keep trying to compare themselves, but Tostitos brand tortilla chips are so crisp and full of freshness. Why try the rest? You can't beat the best. Just ask one of the other guys.
Don't forget to write. At iLab, the complete eyewear eye care center, you'll see the difference we make. At iExam, we offer a state-of-the-art examination. You'll see more frames in every style and every price. You'll see your glasses made in our own lab. They're usually ready in 2 hours and are guaranteed against breakage for 1 year. iLab, you'll see the difference we make. Now open in Lansing and Melrose Park.
And we welcome you back to the 96th Annual Polish Constitution Day Parade in Chicago. We want to say hello now to some of our colleagues, friends and colleagues who work with Alan and I at Channel 7. They're in the Channel 7 float coming down Dearborn Street.
These hopefully will be some familiar faces for you, riding in antique cars today.
I think so. There's Diane Burns, who's our weekend anchor on Channel 7 Eyewitness News. Hello, Diane.
And there you see Andy Avalos, our weekend weathercaster. He's brought his umbrella with him today.
Do you think that's a not-so-subtle message to some of the people here? And riding with Andy is Paul Munke, who reports for all of our newscasts and especially for our 10 o'clock Eyewitness News. Hello, Andy. Hello, Paul. His umbrella says "Singing in the Rain." Now, I hope that he can hold the umbrella by his side for the whole rest of the parade.
Hopefully he can give us some sunshine for tomorrow. That would be nice.
This is the Kazimierz Pulaski Polish School.
Also established by those very industrious ladies about 36 years ago. And the school has provided language instructions to several thousand young people, as well as instruction in culture and tradition. And it's elementary, it's also high school, isn't it, Lucinda?
Oh, yes. You can go for 12 years to, and there's even a college that you can go to and study Polish heritage and Polish subjects.
Now, is the financial burden of this borne by the individual families?
By the families. There's no aid to this. It's just organized by the parents. It's quite a sacrifice, both financially and to lose Saturday morning.
Well, yes, of course, for the kids. But I can't think of any other community that does this to this extent.
Actually, there are about 25 to 30 communities in the Chicago area that have Saturday school systems.
That's great.
Here you see the float sponsored by the Attorney General's office, Neil Hartigan, and of course on that float, some of the children in the Kazimierz Pulaski Polish School.
Now those are the lucky guys because they get to ride on the float, so they have their hands free and they can wave to us.
But their arms get tired, I bet.
Kazimierz Pulaski, of course, the martyr of the Polish martyr of the American Revolution. We now have a Pulaski Day, as you know, in the state of Illinois.
Look at that little tiny girl with the flowers on her hat. Oh boy, I'm in love. She's a doll.
The Roberto Clemente High School Drum and Bugle Corps. They are under the direction of Senior Army Instructor Philip Johnson. They are also assisted by Sergeant First Class Williams. They're located at Western End Division.
Let's pause just a moment and listen. many, many talented students at Roberto Clemente. We're seeing a couple of hundred participating here in the parade today. They also have an incredible steel band at Clemente High School.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I think it's a little difficult to bring those big steel drums out for parade day.
How nice of them to come out and help us celebrate Polish Constitution Day.
And here's an exhibit sponsored by Tallman Federal Savings. Dedicated to the Polish Welfare Association, the Immigration Services, and once again a reminder that the parade today is celebrating the first immigrants who settled in the city of Chicago 150 years ago.
There is certainly a lot more to come here today. A good day for watching a parade on television. We invite you to stay with us as we bring you more of the parade in just a moment.
Fuss with shampoo and conditioner? Who needs it? Tote 2 bottles into the shower to wash my hair? Not me. I want to wash my hair and go. And now I can, with something new. Now you're thinking, Pert? That's not new, but it is. Now it's Pert Plus. Complete shampoo plus complete conditioner in 1 bottle. There's never been anything quite like it. Pert Plus leaves my hair clean, conditioned, and looking terrific. Before, to get results this good, I used shampoo and conditioner. No more. Now, with Pert Plus, I just wash and go.
New Pert Plus. Shampoo plus complete conditioner in 1. Lets you just wash and go.
What took you so long?
I hate how they wrinkle my suit.
You ought to see my cleaning bill.
Oh, they rub against my neck. They're uncomfortable.
How about this for an alternative? Safety belts are way too confining.
I'm in complete agreement, more or less.
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Buckle your safety belt.
If you like Giorgio perfume at $150 an ounce, or Obsession at $160 an ounce, or Opium at $170 an ounce, or Oscar de la Renta at $175 an ounce, or Joy at $200 an ounce, you'll love our fabulous Fakes versions at just $9.95 an ounce. Imagine only $9.95 for 1 full ounce of rich, luxurious perfume. If you can't smell the difference, why pay the difference? For yourself or as a gift at Osco Drug.
Aloha. I'm Ed Hogan, president and owner of Pleasant Hawaiian Holidays, inviting you to a spring sun sale. Vacation in Hawaii now, and you'll get summer weather at spring prices. Our low price for a week in Waikiki includes hotel and airfare. For the best values under the sun, it's Pleasant Hawaiian Holidays. See your travel agent or call toll-free 800-2-HAWAII.
Marianne Childers with Alan Kraszewski and Lucinda Megala. We almost hate to go to commercial because there's so many things happening. A bunch of little kids with a maypole just went by, which is very traditional, isn't it?
Oh, yes, that's very much a part of May 3rd. The maypole, which we call a maik or a gaik in Polish.
This is a float sponsored by District 13 of the Polish National Alliance.
Commissioners of that district are Stanley Szczypło and Kazimierz Stel.
The children there that you see from the Tadeusz Kosciuszko Polish School will be decking the float sponsored by them. That is the largest Polish language school outside of Poland. They have an enrollment of 600 elementary and high school students taught by 15 teachers. Each child that you see there attends school on Saturday for 2.5 hours.
That's why they're all smiling today. Because it's Saturday.
You're out of school.
Right.
Now you figured it out.
Well, I thought, you know, it's a little cold, but the kids seem like they're just in 7th heaven, and now we know. Whoa, good catch.
Speaking of cold, how is she holding up there? The Maryland Majorette, or the Marlin?
I don't know. I've lost feeling in my fingers. So, but these young ladies are doing terrific.
They must be cold. This is a teenage marching unit with color guard flags, rifle squad, and of course the majorettes that you see, and the drum corps too. This unit has appeared in the 1984 Canadian Expo in Toronto, Canada, where they represented the United States for the opening ceremonies and the parade there too. Some of you may have seen them at White Sox and Cubs games too.
And they're pausing now to put on a little bit of a presentation for the dignitaries. They're in the reviewing stand.
They're based in Sycamore, Illinois. They represent the Northern Illinois area from 15 cities.
And this float from the Knights of Dubrovsky. Crusade for Education, established in 1973 by the Knights to provide financial aid to local Polish-American college and graduate students. The organization is named after Reverend Joseph Dąbrowski, who invited the Felician sisters from Poland to come to the Chicago area to open elementary schools and teach the children of Polish immigrants in the late 1880s. And although the Felicians are not associated with the Crusade for Education directly, well, they're one in spirits, and both the groups are striving to help Polish-American students to achieve the best possible education.
Chester Vida is president of the organization. This float is sponsored by the R.C. Coil Spring Manufacturing Company. President of that company is Chester Sapko.
And I'll say hello to Sister Crescenta, who's a good friend of mine with the Felician sisters.
Here comes the Paderewski Polish School.
They're from Niles. You can see they're dressed in costumes depicting the various regions of Poland.
Oh, look here. This is the smallest marcher who gets carried.
Smallest carrier, right?
That's the right way to do it if you can't ride on the float.
What are some of the costumes that we see?
Well, for example, the girl with the sign 41 is wearing a costume from the Łowicz region in central Poland, just across the Vistula River from Warsaw. It happens to be one of my favorites, and it's very warm, pure wool, so she probably is cozy. Principal of the school is Barbara Kozłowski. President of the Parents Association is Błażej Skoczek. Now that looks like a Kraków costume from my region there, both of them.
I think it's funny. She's got her jacket kind of pulled open a little bit. I wonder if someone inside there?
Yes, you can see
I see a leg sticking out.
Somebody's a little tired already, I guess.
A little tired, a little chilly today. That's all right. The parade goes down all the way to Congress almost, so that person could wake up and enjoy all the festivity.
This is the General Anders Polish School.
The Chicago Society Lodge of 1450 of the Polish National Alliance, which is sponsoring this organization, was founded back in 1912, and the members consist of business and professional gentlemen. The purpose is to foster the ideals of good fellowship and promote the welfare of the community by advancing civic, social, economic, and cultural development.
President of the Chicago Society is Ronald Sietrzkowski, and the General Walter Anders Polish School was founded 9 years ago.
They, of course, teach the Polish language. The school is located at St. Tekla Parochial School in Roman Kuczynski Street.
Principal of the school is Maria Serafin. President of the Parents Association is Roman Penard.
I like all the little girls with the flowers in their hair. I think that looks just great.
That is part of the Kraków costume.
So much work goes into each one of those costumes.
Oh yes, beading, it's all hand sewn. Some of these costumes are extremely valuable to $200 and $300 a piece. This is the Chicago Society Polish National Alliance of Business and Professional Men, Lodge 1450. They sponsored the float ahead of us, and here they are.
Gentlemen all smiles today, waving to friendly faces in the crowd.
There is the float, sponsored by the Chicago Society Lodge 1450 of the Polish National Alliance. Riding that, of course, a little accordion music. And on that note, we will tell you that we'll be back in just a moment after just a short break from the parade.
The Polish National Alliance is the largest ethnic fraternal benefit society of Polish Americans in America. Founded in Philadelphia in 1880, the PNA was created to help Polish immigrants start a new life in America. Headquartered in Chicago at 6100 North Cicero Avenue, the PNA publishes the bi-weekly Zagoda and Polish daily newspapers. For more information about the Polish National Alliance, call 286-0500.
What's this? Smells like pizza, but it looks like a turnover. What do you call it?
It's a new Chef Boyardee Panzerotti pizza turnover.
That's a real mouthful.
Panzerottis are as easy to make as pizza, complete with zesty sauce and chunky pizza filling. You wrap in a crisp, light crust, and they're neat to eat.
New Chef Boyardee Panzerotti pizza turnovers.
Chef Boyardee Panzerotti pizza turnovers. That's a real mouthful.
Bargain? Have we got bargain? Whether you're looking for soup, nuts, records, books, tickets, or diamonds, we've got the buys for you. From vintage hats to three-piece suits.
Any size and any color. $99 Mary's of Elmhurst.
We've got men's, women's, and kids' clothing. Such a deal you wouldn't believe. Something for almost nothing. Tonight at 6.
And welcome back to the 96th Annual Polish Constitution Day Parade.
It has been quite a day here along Dearborn Street, but a number of people have shown out for the parade today. Just a beautiful sight to see all the children, the costumes, and the pageantry along the way.
One thing I want to know, though, are the Lyra singers going to be marching?
No, we're not marching because tomorrow we're singing. We have our Polish Song and Dance Fest, which is in honor of May 3rd, Polish Constitution Day, at the Rialto Square Theater, 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Everyone is welcome. You can still get tickets at the door or by calling 585-1140.
That's sort of an annual performance for your group, isn't it? But the group's ongoing throughout the year.
Oh, yes. We are the only professional organization in the country dedicated exclusively to Polish music.
And that's a performance not to be missed. This weekend especially.
Thank you.
That's great. That's great. You know, there are, as we've been talking, many very important people in Polish-American history. Tadeusz Kościuszko, just one of them. Tadeusz Kościuszko, born in Poland in 1746, was a revolutionary hero of both Poland and America. It was his strategy of defenses in the Battle of Saratoga that saved the day for the American Army and changed history. For this and other distinguished service, Congress awarded Kościuszko the rank of Brigadier General. A few years later, he returned to Poland, drawn by a need to help Polish peasants fight for their country against Russian invaders. Drawing on his experience in the American Revolution, he established a citizens' army. And in 1794, he issued 3 charters, which gave the peasants personal freedom, government protection, and control of their land. There's a statue honoring Kościuszko, the great soldier and humanitarian of Poland and America, on Solidarity Drive. And you will see floats and many other types of indications of Polish history throughout the parade today.
Now, how many times have we passed those landmarks in Chicago? Now we know.
This is the Polish National Alliance District 12. And their float, the children from the Henryk Sienkiewicz and Stanisław Kolewiński Polish School.
The commissioners of District 12 are Casimir Yashinsky and Jean Binkowski.
This school, as many schools are, is sponsored by a committee of parents. 9 teachers work here, plus the principal, and the school under the supervision of the Polish Teachers Association of America. A float that passed by a bit earlier, as we were watching today.
These children from the Sienkiewicz School, where the principal is Elizabeth Poręba and the president is Stanley Momot. And this is the Sikorski School.
And complete with whistles. I don't know how those whistles sound to all of you listening at home, but they're very loud here.
A salute to the Polish community from the Italian community, say the Joint Civic Committee of Italian Americans. The president of the organization is Carl de Moon. Riding on the float you see there, and also marching alongside are the children from the General Władysław Sikorski School.
And we have Boy Scout Troop 63, the Drum and Bugle Corps, under the very capable direction of James Short, Jr. By the way, this group has marched in the parade for the last 6 years in the Polish Constitution Day Parade. A line of bugles lead the corps, banners honoring the Polish National Alliance. And this year, they've done a bit of traveling, the Mardi Gras Parade in New Orleans.
This float, sponsored by the Polish Women's Alliance.
Hi there.
Yeah, a little hello there. We were founded back in 1898 for the purpose of aiding the Polish women emigrating to the United States and to assimilate into the mainstream of American life.
And you see there's the Constitution of the United States on the front of the float, and there's a big quill pin right up in the center for the John Hancock.
This is my own organization, the Polish Women's Alliance. Our national president is Helen Jeliński. I'm happy to say I'm one of the national directors.
A little polka music for you. The Polka Get Together Polka Show, celebrating its 10th year in broadcasting within the Chicagoland area. The show's hosts are Keith Strauss and Rick Brzezinski.
And now I'm riding by the medical director of the Polish National Alliance, Dr. Lawrence Sadlik. I don't think we'll have any emergencies today, though, so the good doctor can take it easy.
Maybe a little frostbite on the fingers.
There's a colorful bonnet.
Lodge 3235 of the Polish National Alliance, the John Paul II Lodge.
This lodge is from Villa Park, organized in 1979. There are 70 members, and school children lodge members are riding. They're celebrating the 10th anniversary of the Polish Mass in Lombard. That was back in March, which was a big celebration in the community. The limo, incidentally, is sponsored by Villa Park Ford. Thank you very much, Villa Park Ford, for helping bring us this float today.
And some marchers coming up the street next. The Catholic family of the Sacred Heart School.
Sacred Heart, excuse me.
Sure.
Sacred Heart Parish is quite interesting because it's trilingual. It's a Roman Catholic parish that has both Polish Americans, Mexicans, Mexican Americans, and a lot of just straight Americans.
Now,
so they do everything in 3 languages, English, Polish, and Spanish.
I was going to say, I thought I saw Gutierrez on a young gentleman's
Silva.
jacket, and I saw a young fellow in a sombrero, and I thought, well, well. And we see ladies in Spanish costumes as well as Polish dress.
My good friend, Father Richard Clivor, is pastor down there, and he's doing wonderful work with those kids. This is the King Casimir the Great Polish language school. These are the Hoosiers from Indiana.
The school averages 40 to 50 students this year, and they too have an introductory class for adults.
They're from St. Casimir Parish in Hammond. Jan Dulai is the school.
I'd say this young lady has her hands full with her balloon and her flower and her friend, and she's not going to let go of anything. There's some beautiful handwork here, too. This is not the first banner we've seen of this type.
No,
many with religious figures and, of course, the Holy Father himself.
And that, of course, was the Polish icon, Our Lady of Częstochowa. These are youngsters from Holy Innocents School.
The principal of that school is Janusz Bosksa.
President is Reverend Edward Payon. This is the Rzeszowiacy group, Lodge 101 of the Polish National Alliance.
And they're involved with dance and also, well, quite a presentation we have here. Can you background this one for us a little bit?
This is called the Laikonik. This is a representation, it's a hobby horse representation of the Polish history. You see, Poland has been invaded by the Tartars so often that we now celebrate the victory over the Tartars during the Middle Ages. And the Tartars used to wear hats like that and be dressed like that and have very small horses. So we have the Laikonik Festival in the spring, especially in the city of Kraków, to celebrate the victory over the Tartars.
Now, immediately behind the dance group is this float, sponsored by Cook County Clerk Stanley Cusper. The members from the dance group Lodge 101 not marching are riding on the float, although I think most of them wanted to march today because we have a very small contingent on the float. The county clerk's office, of course, provides a lot of services, you know, if you want to register to vote or get a marriage license or birth certificate. And today, part of the 96th annual Polish Constitution Day Parade right down Dearborn Street. And you know, it even looks like the sun's trying to peek out a little bit.
That would be so nice.
That would be nice, just in time.
The Polish American Police Association.
They are joined today by their counterparts from Cook County Police, Illinois State Police, New York City Police, Philadelphia Police, and Cleveland, Ohio Police as well. They've come a long way.
Well, we're in an international sort of parade, Alan.
That's
I mean,
true.
this is a big event.
This group is a nonprofit organization. It's composed of active police officers and associates of Polish and Slavic descent. The group is under the direction of its president, Bruce Pankiewicz.
I am very impressed with your Polish, Alan.
Oh, thank you. It's limited as it is, perhaps.
Oh, you're doing very well. Each parade he does better, don't you think?
He sure does. And riding in an old-fashioned car? Well, that looks like the kind a politician would have ridden in back in the 30s, but this is a modern-day politician.
State Senator Ted Lechowicz,
the committeeman of the 30th Ward Regular Democratic Party. That's really quite a car. That's really quite a car.
And this float also sponsored by Ted Lechowicz. There he is.
And also by Stanley Cusper. And Roman Paczynski and Dan Rostenkowski's
all
name
part of
on
the Polish American
float.
Democratic Organization.
Now, one young lady had the right idea. She had her gloves on. Oh, here come the Chicagoland Replica Club members. The club's 10 years old. There are 30 members, and each member owns a replica or a kit car. Some are, that's in other words, a modern version of an antique car. Some, though, are the original design. Most of these autos were built by the owners in the case of kits and replicas, and are fully functional. And some of the drivers were wearing outfits from the period when the cars were popular.
Here comes the Harcerstwo, Polish Youth Association, the Polish Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts.
They were founded in Poland 76 years ago. In 1915, the troops were being formed in the United States, and in 1931 through 1940, 80,000 members were associated with the Polish National Alliance.
Now, do they have activities as do the Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts?
Exactly. They have troops, troop leaders, summer camps, exactly the same way. Uniforms, if you notice, are gray rather than the green that our Scouts and Brownies wear. And it's a very active organization.
There you see the maypoles.
Ah, there they are. I carried one of those. I was a Polish Girl Scout for many years.
You know, that's a lovely tradition, but that's one that many other ethnic groups have adopted and hopefully credited the Polish people for. I remember being a little girl around 2nd grade, and we had May Day at school, and there was a maypole as well.
Well, things are moving right along. There is still much, much more to come from the 1987 Polish Constitution Day Parade. We hope that you'll stay with us.
As an American of Polish descent, I am particularly proud that we have Polish Constitution Day here in Chicago. For it gives all of us a chance that for 1,000 years, the people of Poland have been struggling for human rights, human dignity, and civil recognition.
Hey, let's take a drive.
Great idea, Dad.
I'll just get my hat.
Every family has its shabby little secrets.
Everybody ready?
But the Benson secret is shabbier than most.
We recognize you, Benson. Get that shabby pile jump painted.
Uh-oh, better get Mako.
Mako, state-of-the-art auto painting and body repair. High-tech, low prices keep Mako on top.
I never have to wear my nose again.
Hi, Rich Hall here. Hey, you know what I've discovered? The Pizza Hut 5-minute lunch team. You see this timer? When the lunch team takes your order for a personal pan pizza, they start the clock running. If they can't get back to your table with a delicious personal pan pizza within 5 minutes, your next one's free. Guaranteed. Thanks. New record. Personal pan pizza within 5 minutes, or your next one's free. Now, would a burger place do that? Would you even want them to?
Once a year, this very special invitation from Simpkins District Furniture is sent to all our select customers. This year, we've opened it to the entire public, and you're invited to save big on this 6-piece living room set. $588 buys the sofa, love seat, chair, 2 end tables, and a cocktail table. It's $358 for this black lacquer 4-piece bedroom set. $588 purchases this exciting 72-inch entertainment system. The color TV is yours free, and this Weber grill is free with any $200 purchase. Shop the Simpkins District Invitation Sale now.
The next time business takes you to New York, check into the Essex House on Central Park South and feel the difference. Here, your body will be treated to elegance and comfort, but you'll also find special touches that speak to the soul. A warm, intimate, caring atmosphere. A hotel that brings out the best in you. Call 800-NICO-US for reservations at New York's Essex House. NICO Hotels International, for the body and the soul.
And welcome back. Marianne Childers with Lucina Magala and also Alan Kraszewski bringing you the 96th Annual Polish Constitution Day Parade down Dearborn Street.
As well as to provide a channel for involvement with the community and provide a vehicle and leadership to aid Poland as well. Now, they have participated in a number of community projects, such as the Shoe Drive for Poland, a free fingerprinting program for children, police department entrance and promotional exam classes as well.
And they have a lovely float with some lovely young ladies. Hello there.
They're wearing Highlander costumes from the Polish mountains.
They're just beautiful, and I don't know if you can really see it at home, but the work is so intricate, the bead work and the sequin work. These are, I would guess, costumes that are handed down in families.
Oh, yes, very much so. You don't throw something like that away. That's all handwork.
And the Flirtet Twirlers Baton Corporation, organized back in '68, sponsored by the 1st District of Veterans of Foreign Wars and the Military Order of the Purple Heart. This group participates in 12 to 14 parades a year. They've been the Illinois State Champions from '83 to '86. The directors are Clyde and Dolores Davis, and the instructor is Kathy Davis. And they come in all shapes and sizes.
A little precision twirling there. These are members of the Polish National Catholic Church.
The group is led by Bishop Joseph Zawistowski. Coordinator of the unit is the Very Reverend Joseph Kobylasz.
And I believe the bishop is marching with the group.
Yes,
he is right in the center, right in the center, just directly behind the banner. The tall gentleman now waving to the crowd.
No, there are so many ethnic groups that try to hold on to their cultural identities, but certainly Polish Americans have to be at the top of, near the top of the list anyway, as to those that try to preserve.
Well, what has helped is the fact that we've had almost constant immigration throughout American history of people of Polish ancestry, starting with Jamestown in the 1620s in Virginia to the Solidarity generation, which are the latest immigrants.
And this, of course, is the float sponsored by the Polish Roman Catholic Union of America, the oldest fraternal, Polish fraternal in the U.S. Their work encompasses dance groups. And I believe there's going to be some other marching units.
Yes,
I'm sorry, that was the Polish National Catholic Church float that just went by. Oh, because that's a very large unit.
It certainly is.
Now here comes the Polish Roman Catholic Union float, which is the fraternal organization involving dance groups. And of course, we've seen these dance groups throughout the afternoon, language groups, sports, scholarships, and social programs. Now all the young ladies and young gentlemen sitting around the maypole on the float represent a dance and language school.
The officers of the Polish Roman Catholic Union are Edward Dykla, President, Regina Oćwieja and Wallace Ozog, Vice President, Victor Hyatt, Secretary General, and Joyce Szarowicz, Treasurer.
And here are some of those different dance groups that we were just mentioning, sponsored by the Polish Roman Catholic Union of America.
And they are the Krakowiak dancers, the Wisła dancers, the St. Hyacinth Zalipie, Wesoły Ludek, Wesoły Lud, and the dancers from the PRCUA Calumet region. The dance groups are under the direction of Misha Binkowski-Benchik. Associate Director and Manager of the dance groups is Pat Logan.
And as they come before the reviewing stand, we're getting a little sample of what the dance around the maypole is truly like.
There you see the boys or man's costume from the Kraków region. Once again, the Łowicz region costumes from the center of Poland. And there they're dancing.
A little bit of a May dance.
Krakowiak.
And an occasional mom.
Yes,
to keep a hold of a young dancer, but that's important too.
The dresses that we see in the back there.
The long dresses, Lucina.
Yes, this is another region of Poland. I'm sorry, I just don't know which one. But you see, we have about 30-odd regions, and the costumes from each are very different.
Now here we have, would you believe, Cinderella and Prince Charming, the adult culture group of the Polish Roman Catholic Union, founded back in 1969. And the group presents the Prince and Princess. And could you introduce them to us, Lucina?
Yes, Cinderella is Violetta Ricevich. Prince Charming is Richard Liptak.
And they have a ball. It's held annually in November. That's when Cinderella and her prince are selected. This year the ball will be held November 7th at the Lexington House in Hickory Hills, and November 7th of this year.
They're riding in style.
President of the Adult Culture Group is Michaeline Drust.
This next group coming up, the St. Gall's Community Marching Band. They're under the direction of Otto Nagel. Sounding mighty good today. That band won second prize in the Cheyenne, Wyoming competition. They parade at Walt Disney and also placed first in the Evergreen Park Parade. They're co-sponsored by the Polish National Alliance and the Polish Roman Catholic Union of America.
They sound great, don't they?
Don't they sound good? There's a lot more good sounds and great sights on this Saturday afternoon. We invite you to stay with us as the parade continues in just a moment.
Hi, my name is Teddy Kraft. I'm a player from the Chicago Sting. Me, my wife, and my daughter, we are in Chicago for the last 6 months, and we would like to salute the Polish community in Chicago on the occasion of Polish Constitution Parade Day.
At Empire, we make a lot of promises to you. We promise brand name carpeting from $6.95 a yard. We promise no extra charge for polyfoam padding or professional installation. We promise a Bissell shampoo or a Zoom broom sweeper free with any order. We promise no installment payments for 90 days. And the best promise of all, we put in writing right here. If you call Empire today, you get your new carpet tomorrow. And you get the T-shirt, too. That's a promise.
588-2300 Empire. I used to ride bent over. My bike couldn't handle stones. I couldn't find the gear shift. I got soreness in my bones. Every time I rode that way, I always got a bruise. You can blame it on the bike. It's the peddler's blues.
The Huffy Savannah takes you where you're going in comfort. With a cushioned seat, thick tires, upright handlebars, and 10 speeds. You just can't lose.
It's the ultimate in comfort. No more peddler's blues.
Huffy, America's first choice.
Really great cheese can't be mechanically punched out of a huge block like this. That's making cheese Longhorn style, and that's an artificial process. But County Line Longhorns are made the real way, ripened evenly from the inside out in small individual containers for a smooth, rounded shape. Only real cheese, perfectly aged, for a smooth, natural, old-fashioned taste in every cheese we make. County Line. Only real cheese.
The William Tell Inn restaurant is perfect for fine dining, dancing, wedding parties, banquets, 30 to 700. Everyday lunch is great. Sunday champagne brunch, fabulous. William Tell Inn is in the LaGrange Countryside Holiday Inn. Everything you could desire and moderate prices to delight you. Celebrate Mother's Day here. Super special champagne brunch will be served. Call 352-1101. That's 352-1101. 352-1101.
And we're back to the 96th Annual Polish Constitution Day Parade in Chicago, just in time to see the Polish Highlanders, which is one of the groups that's probably been in the parade since the beginning in one form or another. The Polish Highlanders' circle number 3 is under the direction of Dr. Jakub Zachemski. Marching is their queen, children, and parents, representing the Highlanders Alliance, from 30 different circles, along with instruments and music. And why? How does the circle configuration? Is that?
Well, in this case, the circle is like group, like nests
like
for
nests.
the Falcons.
Oh, okay.
But the Highlanders are from the Polish mountains, the Tatra Mountains, which is the Polish part of the Carpathian Mountains. These costumes are highly embroidered.
They're beautiful.
Oh, I just love them. This is my favorite part of Polish culture. They are a very independent group. They have a dialect of the Polish language of their own. Their music is wild and fantastic. I hope that we'll hear some of it later on.
Each group so unique in their costumes. It really is amazing that from one country there's so many separate.
Now, look at, we have the young ladies with the violins in the center, and on either end there's a young gentleman carrying a cello all the way down Dearborn Street.
There he is.
Now that fellow and his counterpart on the other end of the line there, they get the gold stars today because I think they are the most ambitious marchers in the parade.
At least they didn't have to carry the names.
That's right.
Well, I got, looking for the silver lining, Hi, Ellen.
President of the Polish Highlanders is Andrew Czysztoń.
And this really is a group that encompasses hundreds of members across the Chicago area.
Oh, yes,
certainly.
especially on the southwest side of Chicago. I don't know if you know that their traditional base of operation and their neighborhood in Chicago is the southwest side. The Mountaineers like the South for some reason. If you notice those costumes, that's all handmade, including all that lace work, is handmade, all embroidered. Notice the feather in their cap, eagle's feather from the mountains.
And it must be cold in the mountains because I see these beautiful embroidered capes and jackets that are actually appropriate for today.
Well, it's cold.
You know, Polish Americans have been an important part of Chicago history for 150 years.
Years ago, the Tri-Corner at Milwaukee, Ashland, and Division Streets was home to several Polish organizations. One of the early offices of the Polish National Alliance was located here, as well as offices of 2 weekly Polish newspapers. The publishing facility of one of the papers, the Polish Daily Zagoda, is still located at the Tri-Corner. In keeping with tradition, Polish communities in Chicago formed around places of worship. One of the oldest communities was located around the Cathedral of St. Stanislaus Kostka on the north side. St. Stanislaus is now the oldest Polish church in Chicago. On the south side, there were early Polish neighborhoods surrounding St. Joseph's Church at 48th and Hermitage, and Sacred Heart Church at 46th and Honorary. However, the largest Polish parish today is St. Hyacinth on Chicago's northwest side, near Diversey and St. Louis.
We take a lot of things for granted in our wonderful city. Maybe now when we see some of these landmarks, we'll have a special appreciation of how they came to be and the people who are responsible for them. After all, today's celebration and parade is to recognize that Polish immigrants were here when Chicago was founded 150 years ago.
The group right here. Whoa, there we go. The Drum and Bugle Corps of the Chicago Police. They're from Post 207. With Rocco Senacandro as the drum major. They're now coming up the street. Nice to see the Drum and Bugle Corps again this year.
And they were playing Chicago's My Kind of Town. I think they're going to have a special concert for the dignitaries who are in the reviewing stand right here at the corner of Washington and Dearborn, the corner of Daley Plaza.
We estimate that there are 1,250,000 people of Polish ancestry in the Chicago area, which is a city unto itself.
Well, there are over 3 million people in the city. That's a third of the city.
Well, I'm talking metropolitan area.
Metropolitan area.
In the city itself, about 750,000. And about 10 million nationwide.
That's incredible when you think about it. There's so many people with Polish ancestry in our country.
The Chicago Police Explorers Post 9914 under the direction of Commander Joseph De Lopez are the from the Chicago Police Department, and also Explorers Scout Troop 9914.
This is the Alliance of Polish Clubs.
Well, the purpose and intent of the Alliance of Polish Clubs is to coordinate the activities of the many, many clubs and organizations which are members of the Polish National Alliance. She's enthusiastic,
Hey, she's lost the beat, but she's having a good time.
And that's what's important. Well, this group, they work on behalf and for the benefit of the people of Poland, and also to provide the leadership and the advancement of Polish culture here in America, and actually right here in the Chicagoland area, of course, and most importantly.
President of the club is Adam Odsypko. get costumes from the Kraków region in the south of Poland.
This group also has a singing group, do they not?
Yes, they do. They have an adult mixed chorus, the Henryk Wieniawski Chorus, named in honor of the world-famous Polish violinist and composer, Henryk Wieniawski.
I think we forget often the cultural debt that we owe to the many people in Poland and the artists whose music we enjoy to this very day, sometimes without realizing where it came from and who was responsible.
There's some people enjoying the music right now.
And this float also sponsored by the Alliance of Polish Clubs.
This club, like many others, organizes and conducts classes amongst the young people, teaching them the songs and national dances of Poland, once again to let that cultural heritage trickle down through to third and fourth generation of Polish Americans.
The musical director is Henryk Sobkowicz, and director of dance is Anthony Dobrzański. And there's Sabina Dobrzański right there with her husband Anthony dancing for us.
Let's listen to a little bit of the music as it passes us by here. All right, this wins my vote as the liveliest float. The music and the dancers and the kids in front bouncing from the dancers.
The whole float is actually bouncing up and down from all the excitement there.
This is the float of the Polish-American Political League.
On the float, the president, John Jurek, the president of the Polish-American Political League. And this float sponsored by JP Construction Company in Chicago.
Here are the members from Local 743.
And I think we have a tribute to some of our Chicago buildings and our architecture on Local 743 float. Now, I think maybe you can hear in the background something that sounds a little Oriental. Well, it's the Medina Oriental Band coming just into view. A marching band, a unit of Medina Temple, consisting of reed horns and percussion instruments, wearing colorful uniforms of Arabic style, playing an Oriental motif. The band is under the direction of Harold Little, the secretary, Wallace Stice, injecting an Oriental note into today's Polish Constitution Day festivities. You see, everybody turned out, Lucinda.
This floats someplace that I've been before, of course, and as I'm sure many Polish Americans have been. The Orbit Restaurant, one of the most popular Polish restaurants in Chicago. It, of course, has been visited, in addition to many of us, by the governor and the mayor of the city of Chicago. Perhaps too much visited at times.
Look at the chef. Now, you weren't referring to anyone we know.
No, of course not. Well, they're cooking, and we're cooking right along. We hope that you'll stay with us, the parade. A little bit more to go here. We hope you'll stay with us in just a moment.
From Paderewski to Pulaski, Poland's gifts to the world are legion. Yet the sons and daughters of Poland do not bask in reflected glory, for each has within them the true heritage of Poland, commitment to God, reverence of family, and dedication to service. It is this heritage I am most proud of, and it is with this heritage that Polish Americans will help guide our city, our nation, and our world to a better future.
Ever notice how some plastic wraps seem to have a mind of their own? How they don't seem to cling where you want them to? Well, Reynolds plastic wrap clings better than any other plastic wrap, and it clings where it's supposed to cling. So get Reynolds plastic wrap before yours gets out of hand.
You know, these track auto prices are so low, I wish my car needed more maintenance. Of course, I could always stock up.
Stock up this week with Mobil 10W40 motor oil, just 44 cents a quart. For a great shine, it's Borden's Rain Dance Car Wax, paste or liquid, just $2.49 each. Or Plasticolor Car Name Carpeted Car Mats are just $13.99 a pair for front or $8.99 a pair for rear.
He only mentioned 3. They got over 60 items on sale every week. Get the door! If you need it, Track's got it.
The Polish National Alliance is the largest ethnic fraternal benefit society of Polish Americans in America. Founded in Philadelphia in 1880, the PNA was created to help Polish immigrants start a new life in America. Headquartered in Chicago at 6100 North Cicero Avenue, the PNA publishes the bi-weekly Zagoda and Polish daily newspapers. For more information about the Polish National Alliance, call 286-0500.
1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock fresh. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock fresh. 9, 10, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock fresh. Feel fresh the whole day through with Shield. Shield deodorant soap. When the clock strikes 6, 7, 2, Shield will still be going for you. Cause Shield protection feels so right. Keeps you feeling fresh from day to night. You're gonna feel fresh the whole day through with Shield. Fresh all day with Shield.
Well, the wind has picked up a little bit for us right here on Daily Plaza. We can feel it, but it's appropriate just now because the Vietnam Cook County #1 Windy City Mariners are marching by. Let's take a look at them. The championship color guard composed of veterans of the Vietnam War. And they have a very specific goal, including a desire to help their fellow man in any way possible and create a new image of respect and leadership for the Vietnam veteran. And of course, we know Chicago has played a very important part in doing that by hosting the Vietnam Vets Parade just almost this time last year.
And right behind them, the Polish American Cultural Club, which serves the western suburbs.
You can see the signs they're holding up, the many different suburbs that are represented as a part of that club.
And they have a queen, which they pick every year, as well as a court of honor. The club promoting Polish heritage and tradition through many activities, probably most important, scholarship awards. And interesting to note, the placement of Polish books in suburban libraries, which again is a big cost undertaking. It's a big commitment for members of the Polish community.
The group is under the direction of Richard Opalinski.
And right now we're still seeing the Windy City Mariners, who are involved in their presentation before the reviewing stand here. This group is relatively new, organized in March of 1985. Once again, the Vietnam veterans. They've raised a lot of money for friends and soldiers who are missing in action, also the prisoners of war families. They've counseled and comforted their fellow vets, donated monies to victims of the Mexico earthquake, looked for jobs for their fellow vets, and donated bloods to the veterans at Hines Hospital. The color guard is under the direction of Sergeant Tom Day. And a very respectful crowd here in front of the reviewing stand watching the color guard of the Windy City Mariners. The Viet Now Cook County #1 Windy City Mariners.
Once again, the Polish American Cultural Club coming into view before the reviewing stand this afternoon.
And we see LaGrange and Riverside, Downers Grove,
Irwin.
This is the float co-sponsored by the Copernicus Cultural Center and the Polish Arts Club of Chicago.
And there's the Queen and her court. With big smiles.
No, it wasn't either. That is still the, it's my mistake. That is still the Polish American Cultural Club of the Western Suburbs float.
A little bit of more music. The float you see right now sponsored by Congressman Dan Rostenkowski, of course, chairman of the prestigious U.S. House Ways and Means Committee. He's also the 32nd Ward regular Democratic Party chairman, or committeeman, rather. The music you are enjoying emanating from the float is provided by the Little Richard Band. It has certainly been an enjoyable day here along Dearborn Street for the Polish Parade. And it is going to continue right now, but I'm afraid we're going to have to be leaving you shortly.
It's been fun to be with you. And Lucinda, it's been wonderful to have you with us again. Once again, the Lyra Singers perform tomorrow.
Polish Song and Dance Fest at the Rialto Square Theater in Joliet, 3 o'clock tomorrow. Tickets available at the door.
A pleasure to have you here. Many thanks to our wonderful producer and our technical crew. Have a great afternoon. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Do widzenia.
It's finally here. For the first time ever, your
starting next week into the Iran-Contra affair. Today, former National Security Advisor John Poindexter met behind closed doors with Senate investigators. In a related matter, published reports say Lieutenant Colonel Oliver North persuaded Poland and China to sell arms to the Contras. And Ali Sheba won the Kentucky Derby. I'm Norma Quarles in New York. More news later on this NBC station.
They show a lot more than the other channels. That's why I switched.
They give it to you straight because they're telling you a story. They're not telling you their opinion.
As a news team, Channel 5 presents it the way I want to hear it. It's right to the point.
They don't try and pussyfoot around, you might say. They get right to the news.
Channel 5 News with Ron Majors and Carol Maureen. We give it to you straight.
This is the Braun Hand Blender. With it, you can puree tomatoes for sauce in minutes. Make salad dressing in seconds. You can prepare fresh vegetable soup in almost no time. And even make a strawberry parfait in under a minute. Who knows? With the Braun Hand Blender, you just may acquire a taste for fast food. Braun, designed to perform better.
The spectacular end of a manhunt for killers in Montana at 10.
Thank you for being a friend.